Hey, what's up, y'all? And we're back with some more 2024 college football preview and predictions. So today we do have three teams from the ACC. We got the Clemson Tigers, Florida State Seminoles, and the Louisville Cardinals. Anyway, so we're gonna start with Clemson first. Yeah, so last year y'all did go 8-4. Get started out with the loss to Duke. You also lost to Florida State and NC State and Miami. But you did beat Kentucky in your bowl game to finish at 9-4. Yes, so really a down year. You know, I know that y'all are used to making the college football playoff, but y'all have missed the 14 playoff the last 3 years. But now that they're going to 12 teams, maybe you can make it this year. Anyways, now taking a look at this year's team. Yes, you do bring back Cade Klubnik and yeah, this will be his second season as the starter. And I mean he wasn't very good last year either. It was like 2,800 yards, 64% completions, which is not bad. The problem is only 6.3 yards per attempt. That's terrible. And then also the touchdown to interception ratio was bad. 19 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. So that's like 2-1 touchdowns to interceptions. So, but anyway, so is yards per attempt. Yeah, that needs to get way up, and he needs to throw a few more touchdowns and a few less interceptions. Whereas last year he only had like a passer rating of 126.3 and a QBR of 55. So yeah, that's bad. You got to do better, Cade. But anyway, and I think he will at least be a little bit better, which is really all he needs. And then in that running back, yes, you do lose Will Shipley, but you do return Phil Maffa, right? He's a bad Maffa. He had almost 1,000 rushing yards last year. So, and then as for your wide receivers, yes, you do lose Bo Collins, your second leading wide receiver, but you do bring back your top receiver, Tyler Brown. You get back your tight ends, Jake Brenningstool, wide receiver, Troy Stellato, and Antonio Williams. So, but anyway, I know that you don't have any elite wide receivers. There's not a Sammy Watkins or Mike Williams or T. Higgins on this team, but there really doesn't have to be. So, I mean, if you can have a collection of good receivers. But anyway, I think that if Klubnik can take better care of the football, not turn it over as much, and if you can lean on that Phil Maffa and the running game, and lean on your defense, and I think you're gonna be all right. So, anyways, now speaking of the defense, yeah, these last few years, I'm, I mean, the defense hasn't really been the issue. I mean, it's been the offense that's been the problem. The defense has been fine. Well, I mean, maybe they've fallen off a little bit since losing Brent Venables, but I mean they're still good. So and they do lose some talent on the defense, but have a lot returning also. Like you do lose at your linebacker, Jeremiah Trotter, your cornerback, Nate Wiggins to the NFL. You had safety Andrew Makuba, transferred to Texas. So on your defensive line, you do lose Tyler Davis and Rook Orohoro to the NFL, and your defensive end Xavier Thomas. But you do bring back one of your defensive tackles, Peter Woods. And a defensive end, RJ, or TJ, Parker, right? Your other defensive end. You do return Barrett Carter at linebacker. You've got safeties. You've got RJ Mickens. So yeah, I think y'all are gonna be all right on defense. So, but anyway, so let's get into your schedule. So you do start out week 1. You do play Georgia in Atlanta, and this is an automatic loss. I mean, I don't think this game is even going to be close. I think that we're just, you know, way too talented. So, I mean, so we're gonna win this game by 3 or 4 or 5 touchdowns. So y'all just don't have a chance. And then after that, you do get your first home game against App State, and that should be an easy win. Then after that, you get your first bye week. And then after that, you play NC State. Now, if you saw my NC State video, then you already know that I have you beating NC State. Yeah, I don't think you're going to lose to them 2 years in a row. So, and then after that, you do play Stanford. And now Stanford does come to you, so that's good instead of having to go to the West Coast. And I mean, Stanford is just, absolutely horrible. So I think they only won like 3 games last year. So yeah, that's a win. Yeah, I don't really know what's happened to Stanford, but I mean, they used to be so good, but they've just been terrible for the last few years now. So anyway, and then after that, you do play at Florida State. Yes, another team that beat you last year. Yeah, Florida State does lose a lot off of last year's team, like Jordan Travis and Jared Verse, Keon Coleman. So yeah, I think that's going to be a win. After that, you're at Wake Forest, and I mean, Wake Forest is really well, they're mid. So yeah, that should be an easy win. I mean, win even was the last time you lost to Wake Forest. So, and then after that, you do play Virginia, and yeah, I do think that's a win. Virginia is terrible, so. Yes, and then that takes you into your second bye week, and then after that, you do play Louisville, and yeah, here is where I have you taking your first ACC loss, and then after that, you do play. Who's next? You got at Virginia Tech, and I already did my Virginia Tech video. So I mean, I think that Virginia Tech is going to be much improved over last year, but still not good enough to beat you. So, gonna give you the win there. And then you're at Pitt, right? They were terrible last year. I think they're gonna be a lot better this year, but I'm still picking you to beat them because you're just still way more talented. So, and then after that, you've got Citadel, and that should be an easy win. You should just completely demolish them. And then after that, you've got South Carolina, and that should be a win. Yeah, South Carolina is just really down right now. Of course, if you saw my South Carolina video, I had them going 6-6. So, yeah, I think you're gonna beat your in-state rival. So, anyway, so that puts your record out to 6-2, and yeah, 10-2 and 6-2 in the ACC. All right, so now let's talk about Florida State. Last year, y'all did go 12-0 in the regular season, which included big wins over LSU and Clemson. And then you beat Louisville in the ACC championship to go 13-0, but sadly you did end up getting left out of the playoffs. So out of 13-0, yes, getting snubbed for Alabama and Texas. So, but anyway, and then of course y'all cried about it for the entire off season. About I mean the fans did, about ESPN and Kirk Herbstreit and SEC bias but anyway, so let's see, can y'all get into the playoffs this year with it, since it's expanding to 12 teams? Let's see if we can find out. Anyway, so of course you do lose your quarterback, Jordan Travis has gone to the NFL. Of course, he did suffer a season-ending knee injury in the game against North Alabama, second to last game of the regular season. Anyway, so he's gone. He was pretty good. Yeah, 27% of his passes, 60-something percent completions. What about 9 yards per attempt, or 8 point something, and 20 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions. So yeah, so he takes good care of the ball. But he's gone now, and then your backup quarterback, Tate Roadmaker, he hit the transfer portal because you do have oh yeah, of course, how could I forget to mention you just getting absolutely completely obliterated 63-3 by Georgia in the Orange Bowl. So when half the team didn't even play, you had so many people opting out, so many people transferring. I mean, I think y'all were down to your third string quarterback for the Orange Bowl. So, but anyway, of course, you are bringing in DJ Uiagalelei, aka the ukulele, and yeah, I mean he did okay last year at Oregon State. I mean, Oregon State was more of a running team, but anyway, so now, of course, he started out his career at Clemson, so now he's back in the ACC this time as a Nole. So, you do about 2,600 yards last year, 8.4 per attempt, 21 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. So, anyway, so now taking a look at your running backs. Yes, you did lose Trey Benson, but you do bring back Lawrence To'Philly. And you also got Roydell Williams from Alabama. So yeah, Roydell Binky Williams. So, and we had like 500 yards last year. So, I mean, he was not the main running back. So, but anyway, at wide receivers, tight ends, yes, you lost Keon Coleman, Johnny Wilson, tight end, Jaheim Bell. But you do bring back Ja'Kai Douglas and tight end Kyle Morlock. And from the transfer portal, you did go out and get Malik Benson from Alabama and Jalen Brown from LSU. So now neither one of them really played last year. So I mean that's really all based on potential, but they are both 4 stars. So anyway, so now let's go ahead and take a look at your defense. Yes, so you did lose. You lost Tatum Bethune and Kalen Deloach, your linebackers. Defensive line, you did lose. You lost your defensive end, Jared Burris, who had 9 sacks last year. Lost a defensive tackle, Brandon Fisk. Safety, Akeem Dent. And you lost both of your cornerbacks, Arnaldo Green and Jarian Jones. So so you lose a lot. So it's like 7 starters. And you do bring back one of your linebackers. Do get DJ Lundy. Got your other defensive end, Patrick Payton. So yeah. So you bring back anyway, yeah. So how about we just go ahead and get into some transfers. You did bring back you did get a linebacker, Cam Riley from Auburn. You did get a your cornerback is Omarion Cooper from Colorado, who actually used to play at Florida State, transferred to Colorado, and now back to FSU. So you did get a defensive end / outside linebacker, Jarvis Jones from Georgia. So of course, if he's from Georgia, I mean, he's a dog. So I mean, he's gonna be really good. anyways, how about we just get on with the schedule, because that's what y'all are really here for anyway. So we'll start out. You do play week 0. You do play Georgia Tech in Ireland. So you know that you have to travel a long way, but so do they. So yeah, I still think you're gonna win this game. I think we'll be close. I think right now you're like a 13-point favorite, so I would take Georgia Tech to cover. But I think but I would still take you to win. So anyways, and after that you do play Boston College week 1, but this is on a Monday night. It doesn't matter when this game was played. I mean, Boston College is really mid. So yeah, that should be an easy win. To that takes you in your first bye week. You actually get 3 this year because you play in week 0. To that you do play Memphis, and now they're usually one of the better group of 5 teams. They won 10 games last year. But I'm still gonna give you the win. To that you do play Cal. Cal, might make a bowl game. They're not gonna beat you. That's a win. To that you do play at SMU. Now I know that that SMU is getting a lot of hype this year as a dark horse in the ACC. Yeah, I'm not buying it. You get me lost to 5-win TCU last year. I mean, lost to Boston College. In their bowl game. So yeah, I'm gonna be giving you the win here. Then after that, this is really when your schedule gets tough, because you've got Clemson, and yeah, no, you beat Clemson last year, breaking like a 7 or 8 game losing streak. But yeah, of course, I just did my prediction for Clemson, so you already know that that I have you losing this one. And then after that, you do play your second bye. Your second bye week. Then after that, you play at Duke, and yeah, I'm picking you to lose this game at Duke, but only because it's on the road on a Friday night, and I don't make the rules. So, but anyway, next you do play at Miami, and I already did my Miami prediction. So yeah, I do think Miami will be a much better team this year. I mean, yeah, I did have Miami winning 10 games. So yeah, this is a loss. And then next, you play North Carolina. I think North Carolina is going to be taking a step back this year without Drake May. So I think this is a win. After that, you are at Notre Dame. And yeah, I already did my did my Notre Dame preview. I think they're a playoff team, and I think this is an L. After that, you get your third and final bye week before you play Charleston Southern. Your FCS team, you should just completely obliterate them. And then after that, you play Florida, and Florida's going to be in give up mode by this point in the season. Billy Napier will already have been fired. They'll be in give up mode, so that should be a win. So that puts you at 8-4 and 6-2 in, 5-3 in the ACC. All right, so now let's move on to the Louisville Cardinals. And last year, under Jeff Brom, a pretty successful first year. Of course, Brom, leaving Purdue to take the head job at Louisville. Anyway, and of course, last year you did go 10-2 in the regular season, right, with losses to Pitt. Don't know how that happened, and Kentucky, and then you lost to Florida State in the ACC championship before getting blown out by Southern Cal in your bowl game. So now this year, yes, you do lose your quarterback, Jack Plummer. He's gone to the NFL. He had like 3,200 yards and 21 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. Anyway, so you did get Tyler Shuck from the transfer portal. He's a veteran quarterback. I think this is like his he's a sixth-year senior. He has played at Oregon and Texas Tech. He was the starter at Oregon in 2020, but they only played 7 games. But he did take his team to a win in the Pac-12 championship. And then 2022, he did take over in like the last half of the 2020 season for Texas Tech. Started like the last 5 games, and then last year he did start out the season at Texas Tech, but he suffered a season-ending leg injury in week 4. So, but anyway, so I'm guessing that he's gonna be the starter. So it looks like Harrison Bailey will be the backup. Anyway, he was a 5-star quarterback that used to play for Tennessee. So, anyway, so now your running backs, if you do lose Jahar Jordan and Isaac Garando. So you did have to look in the transfer portal. Yeah, you were supposed to be getting Penny Boone from Toledo. He did transfer for the spring, but then he transferred again to UCF. So yeah, it would have been a boon if you could have kept Boone. I mean, because he is an absolute beast. I mean, he had 1,400 yards and 7 yards a carry last year. So instead, you are gonna have to settle for getting Don Chaney from Miami. So, oh, anyways, so now, but taking a look at your wide receivers, you do lose 3 of your top 4 receivers. Yeah, you did lose Jamari. You lost the name Jamari. Anyway, yeah, Jamari. Jamari Brown. Anyway, well, he went to the Browns. Anyway, and you do lose Kevin Coleman, Amari, Huggins, Bruce. I mean, you do bring back Chris Bell, also from the transfer portal. You did get Colin Lacey from South Alabama. He was a 1,300-yard receiver last year. You got Ja'Cory Brooks. I mean, he had a big year. Yeah, from Alabama. I mean, he had a big year in his sophomore year at Alabama, like 600 and something yards. But last year, he 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 barely played. I don't know what was going on last year, but anyway. So now let's take a look at your your defense. It should be a strength. I mean, you return 7 starters, so you just lose 2 corners. You lose what's his name, Jamar Brownlee. You lose Storm Duck, cornerbacks. You lose some defensive tackles. Yeah, Stephen Heron and Jermaine Lowell. But anyways, you bring back a linebacker. You did bring back best linebacker, TJ Quinn. You got defensive back. You got safety Devin Neal. He had 4 interceptions, led the team. You got Quincy Riley, another DB. He had 3 interceptions. You bring back a defensive end, Ashton Gullett. He did have 11 sacks last year. Now, from the transfer portal, you did bring in like 3 cornerbacks to replace Brownlee and Duck. You got Thornton, Callaway, and Nicholson. So you got a big defensive tackle. Thor Griffith out of Harvard, a 320-pound dude. So, but anyway, it took in like 30 from the transfer portal. That lost 30 players to the transfer portal. So I guess they're trying to be like Colorado. Anyways, now let's get into the schedule here. So we're gonna start out week 1. You play Austin Peay, and then you've got Jacksonville State. So these should be 2 easy wins. 2 warm-up games. but before your first bye week. Yes, it's a weird place to have a bye week. And after that, you do play Georgia Tech. Let's see, I got you winning this one. Then you're at Notre Dame. I've already done my Notre Dame preview, so you already know I have you losing to Notre Dame. So yeah, I don't think you're beating Notre Dame back to back. So yeah, I think that's not happening. Anyway, and then after that, you do play SMU, and again, I think this is a win. I'm not buying into the SMU hype. After that, you do play at Virginia, and Virginia is terrible. That should be a win. But I mean that could be a trap game, because the next week you do host Miami, and I already did my Miami preview, so you already know that I got you beating Miami at home. But after that, you play at Boston College, and at Boston College on a Friday night. And you know what the rule is about these Friday night ACC games. So yeah, that means that I'm gonna have to give you an L. And then after that, you do play Clemson, and I mean I just did Clemson, so you know that I have you upsetting Clemson on the road. Okay, that takes you into your second bye week, and then just 3 games left at Stanford. Though yes, a long travel, but I mean they're absolutely horrible. So I think that's a win. And then you play Pitt. Yeah, I already did a Pitt preview, so I got you beating Pitt. And then you play at Kentucky for the last game. And I mean, Kentucky has really had your number lately. Was last time y'all beat Kentucky was like 2017, so they've beaten y'all 5 times in a row. So yeah, make it 6. Anyways, that does put your record at 9-3 and 7-1 in the ACC. So, but anyway, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Give me your record. For these 3 teams. And thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all again next time.